Hello everyone. Some moments last only a few seconds, yet they're powerful enough to transform entire landscapes and change countless lives. Right now, let's take a look at real footage showcasing the incredible power of nature. Today's flood behaved like an old landlord returning to reclaim land that once belonged to it. I'm curious, which country are you watching this video from? Sometimes the real miracle isn't that the flood stops. It's that people still manage to walk away from it alive. It seems Mother Nature gave the driver her toughest test that day, and he passed it with a remarkably calm decision. What kinds of extreme weather do you usually experience where you live?
Oh no!
After just a few hours of rain, nature had completely turned the page, leaving water in control of the entire landscape. The river carried the house away as though it were collecting an old debt.
Guba na guba. Nagbang ang kuan, crane. Ang crane ba, ang crane? Wala mo nang gawas sa balay? Ang crane. Wala ka ka-video dayon? Videoan ako, kay grabing kurog. Guba, dyan o.
Every flood carries soil and rock downstream, quietly reshaping the entire valley in the process. People can reshape the skyline with buildings, but nature can reshape it in just a matter of minutes. On the evening of June 24th, 2026, Venezuela was struck by two powerful earthquakes less than a minute apart. Each tremor felt like the footstep of an invisible giant, powerful enough to make the entire land bow beneath it. We hope the people of Venezuela recover quickly from their losses, rebuild their lives, and emerge stronger after this earthquake. This scene makes it feel as though the entire mountainside decided to move house right into the middle of the road. If nature had a power rankings list, superstorms would undoubtedly be among its most unstoppable champions. Sometimes the greatest danger on the road isn't what's ahead, it's the mirror check that never happened. Vehicles can be repaired, but the best news is that no one was hurt. The car launched into the air like a scene straight out of Fast and Furious. Unfortunately, there were no stunt drivers or replay button this time. Just because you can see a truck doesn't mean the truck can see you. Some accidents don't begin with speed, they begin with a single moment of lost concentration. If gravity had a social media account, this moment would probably be pinned to the top of its profile as yet another victory. The collapse of this house marks not only an ending, but also the beginning of a new chapter and future plans. Watching this moment, I can't help but wonder why the person filming remained so calm when nature had already begun sending clear warning signs. Rain doesn't create disasters, it simply exposes the limits people once believed could never be exceeded. Have you ever watched a house collapse right before your eyes? Nature is never in a hurry, but when it acts, it always forces people to rethink their plans. The Qiantang River is world famous for having the largest tidal bore on Earth. As water from the East China Sea rushes into Hangzhou Bay and is suddenly funneled into a narrower channel, it creates massive walls of water that surge upstream. Every flood carries soil and rock downstream, quietly reshaping the entire valley in the process. Lightning striking an aircraft is far more common than many people realize. On average, every commercial airplane is struck by lightning about 1 to 2 times each year.
Didn't beat the storm. That little liquid sunshine never hurt nobody. Let's get it!
Sometimes disasters don't begin with the floodwaters. They begin with years of gradual change that we fail to notice. Every natural disaster is a reminder that the greatest power on this planet has never belonged to humanity. Every lightning strike leaves behind a tiny electrical memory, making the same location more likely to be struck again during future storms. Flash floods sweep everything away as effortlessly as the wind turns a page, except the page can weigh tens of tons. Every year, countless communities are hit by flash floods. Do you think they're among the most common natural disasters? If there were ever a moment to make a fisherman smile, this would definitely be one of them. Perhaps the drivers should spend a little more time practicing cornering skills before facing another situation like this. Do you think this incident may have started because the vehicle was parked improperly? The wall never imagined it would become the final obstacle in someone's journey. Perhaps this moment helped the young man win the complete admiration of both young women. How would you rate this woman's quick thinking on a scale of 1 to 10? If there were an Oscar for the most unexpected landing, this scene would surely earn a nomination. If you were judging of this incident, who do you think was at fault? Once the wheels and the semi-trailer decide to go in different directions, the story rarely has a happy ending. On Monday the 22nd, an accident was reported on Taboa Grande Avenue. The driver of a car lost control and crashed into the wall of a beauty salon. Sometimes the most dangerous place on the road isn't in front of a vehicle, it's the spot where the driver can't see you at all. That day, the restaurant received an unexpected, uninvited guest that no one would ever want to welcome. In just a few seconds, nature erased an entire mountainside as though someone had used a giant eraser to wipe away part of the landscape. It seems Mother Nature just pressed the terrain update button, transforming the entire hillside in a matter of seconds. A section of road on the north shore of Long Island collapsed after heavy rain triggered flooding across the area on Monday, August 19th. Never underestimate floodwater. Just 6 inches can knock a person off their feet, and 2 feet is enough to lift and carry away a vehicle. It feels as though the ground itself has started to breathe. Every burst of water is like a desperate gasp from a storm drainage system pushed to its absolute limit. Sometimes the most dangerous place on the road isn't in front of a vehicle, it's the spot where the driver can't see you at all. This time, even the Grim Reaper had to admit defeat to the driver's decisive slam on the brakes. Nature pulled a curtain across the road, but impatience still tried to guess what was hiding behind it. Can you count how many birds are in this frame? Without a better understanding of road safety, luck may not be on this man's side a second time. The vehicle didn't lose control, it simply handed control over from the driver to gravity. It seems many drivers forget that intersections are among the most dangerous places on any road. One loud explosion was all it took for a peaceful scene to give way to chaos and emergency evacuations. Dozens of tons of steel weren't angry, but losing balance for just a moment was enough for gravity to take over. In situations like this, staying calm is always your most reliable companion. What do you think? If the man had weighed a few dozen pounds less, would the outcome have been any different? Or would it still have ended the same way?
Right there, it's coming down again.
Did you know the strongest hurricane ever to make landfall in the United States packed winds of about 185 miles per hour, powerful enough to flatten entire neighborhoods in just a matter of minutes?
She gone.
Perhaps panic kept the man from staying calm enough to handle the situation. If the store offered curbside pickup, this car seemed to choose the opposite approach today. If life had a pause button, it probably would have been pressed at this exact moment. What makes this moment unforgettable isn't the collision itself, but the fact that no one was struck. In a hailstorm like this, my bank account would probably be shaking even harder than the car windows.
I have to record this for insurance. That's my truck. Oh, yeah, this thing.
It seems Mother Nature wanted a taste of the meal too, so she casually sprinkled on a little snow. It's as if Mother Nature challenged the little boy to a game of tag, and this time he came out the winner. This gift probably gave not only the vehicle owner a headache, but also left the insurance adjuster with nothing to do but sigh.
Я не повезло.
Accidents don't care how long you've been driving safely. They're just waiting for one brief moment of distraction.
То есть начало было хорошее.
Has anyone here ever accidentally pressed the accelerator instead of the brake? I'd love to hear your story. Some safety procedures exist because forgetting them even once is already one time too many. Speed is always the greatest enemy of safety once it exceeds the legal limit. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but controlled demolitions always keep my attention more than any explosion or fire ever could. The end of a structure's lifespan is also the beginning of a new chapter for the land it once stood on. Every storm leaves behind a bigger question. Is the climate changing faster than our ability to adapt? Watching this, you realize that the beauty of the ocean always comes with a power that should never be underestimated. When diving after prey, a peregrine falcon can exceed 240 miles per hour, making it faster than many supercars. If the ocean could say hello, I imagine it would look something like this: gentle, vibrant, and beautiful enough to make anyone stop and stare. On the evening of August 28th, beachgoers played in glowing bioluminescent waters at Port Lincoln, South Australia. The house had once stood as a symbol of strength, but against the storm, it was as fragile as a sheet of paper. When Mother Nature is this angry, the wisest plan is probably to stay within four walls and wait for the storm to pass. Not every morning begins with a cup of coffee. Sometimes it begins like a scene straight out of a Hollywood movie. The steel frame gave way like a warrior who knew the battle had been lost before it even began. Even a job as simple as knocking down a wall takes experience, the right tools, and careful planning. You see in their children's eyes, fathers will always be superheroes. This may be the most expensive fish feeding experience that young woman will remember for a long time. Perhaps this wasn't just an unexpected encounter. It was also a reminder of the delicate balance between human development and the natural world.
Readjusted.
Quick boy. Poor girl.
One fascinating thing about wildlife is that most animals don't have to learn how to protect themselves, and millions of years of evolution have already written those instincts into their DNA. Can you guess how fast the floodwater was moving at that moment?
Το νερό κατεβαίνει με τρελή ταχύτητα, το αμάξι σε λίγο απλά δεν θα φαίνεται αν δεν το πάρει. Δεν ξέρω τι θα γίνει σήμερα το βράδυ, ειλικρινά.
Just seeing the manhole cover blast into the air is enough to tell you the pressure below was like a trapped beast struggling to break free. What I'm most curious about is why they didn't turn around as soon as the first raindrops began to fall. On Sunday, August 14th, a firefighter captured footage of a massive fire whirl, also known as a fire tornado, while battling the Beaver Creek fire.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
In just a few minutes, Mother Nature completely redesigned the landscaping in a style that no homeowner would ever order. A fresh layer of snow triggered a major avalanche along a highway in Colorado's 10-mile canyon on Sunday, March 3rd. Is anyone else like me? The more spectacular scenes like this become, the harder they are to look away from.
Did you get it? Can you believe that?
Sometimes intentionally triggering a small avalanche is the most effective way to prevent a much larger and more dangerous one. A 6.1 magnitude earthquake struck Clark International Airport in the Philippines on April 22, 2019. The quake caused 30 million pesos in damage and disrupted 110 flights.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Holy. Is everybody okay?
Could the gas pipeline system beneath the ground have exceeded its safety limits long before anyone noticed? Like fire gas can either cook your dinner or destroy an entire home. It all depends on how well we control it. The frightening part isn't the explosion itself, it's that you never know where those flying rocks will land. Sometimes the difference between a safe haul and a disaster comes down to a few properly tightened chains or secure tie-downs. Physics can be brutally honest. Once a vehicle's center of gravity moves beyond its point of balance, the laws of motion take over. Could overconfidence be the most dangerous obstacle we face on the road? Sometimes obstacles don't have to come after you. All it takes is driving into one, and the repair bill will tell the rest of the story. Massive waves slammed into a pier on Lake Michigan on the afternoon of Tuesday, October 21st, as weather warnings remain in effect for the area. Standing before a storm, you realize that people are nothing more than tiny dots on a canvas that nature is repainting with its own hand. think even wearing 2 thick winter jackets would give me enough courage to step outside in weather like this.
Yo.
Severe winter storm conditions swept across northeastern Ohio on Friday, November 27th. When cold and warm air collide violently inside thunderstorm clouds, the sky begins to forge icy bullets and drop them to the ground without warning. Three seconds may seem insignificant, but they can make all the difference between danger and safety. That day, gravity seemed to find a shortcut, pulling both vehicles out of sight in an instant. Sinkholes form when groundwater gradually washes away or dissolves the soil and rock beneath the surface, leaving the ground unsupported until it suddenly collapses. I doubt the drivers expected to witness such a real-life physics lesson that day.
नहीं है ना नहीं है नहीं है ना
The toll booth attendant was simply doing their job.
चल वीडियो काढ रे सगळे टेक्निक्स आहे चेन खोला बटन काढायचं जाणार नाही अरे माले इथे दोन ए अरे एक दे ना ए वो
That safari ended in a way nobody expected. The visitors went home empty-handed, while the deer enjoyed a feast it certainly won't forget.
Oh, this one is. Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait! He took it.
See, that was it. You don't give me that shit back. Now you, sir, are not nice.
An unbelievable scene as an earthquake turned a swimming pool into rough seas waves, surging and leaving witnesses holding their breath. Earth and rock thundered down as a car disappeared beneath mud in Himachal Pradesh, a moment of extreme panic. A lightning strike hit part of Leon Cathedral's structure after tropical wave number 27 passed a chilling moment amid the storm. When the truck braked suddenly, a heavy metal coil rolled forward and slammed into the cabin. A serious reminder of why proper cargo securement systems are absolutely crucial. Trying to pull into a restaurant, the driver accidentally went a bit too far, straight into the side of the building. A stressful parking moment, but thankfully, no one was hurt. A massive wave suddenly surges over the riverbank, crashing into a crowded street in China. A violent yet miraculous moment, as no one was hurt. Wisconsin lightning went all out today. It struck a tree and burst into a natural firework, beautiful from afar, but up close you'd be sprinting for your life. Flooding hit Venice, but the sight of Santa Claus paddling a boat brought those smiles, adding warmth to the scene.
Occhio, occhio, occhio. Via, 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 battaglio
What do you think happened to the Spitfire that made it lose control like that? And if you saw it in person, how do you think you'd react to such a heart-stopping moment? When tides wind and distance errant, perfectly calculated accidents like this can happen, just like the unexpected collision between the Mexican Navy ship and the Brooklyn Bridge. One careless second on the road caused a truck to lose control, slam into a divider, and send bystanders running in panic. Brake failure sent the earth mover sliding down the street and crashing into a residential building, damaging gas lines and fences. Huge waves roared off Wellington as a winter storm arrived, transforming the coastline into an ocean battleground. When the riverbank road collapsed, the cement truck immediately tipped into the water. A serious warning about landslide risks and operating heavy loads near the water's edge. Wow. Sometimes the smartest decision isn't to get closer for a better video. It's to quietly keep your distance and let the bear continue on its way. How many sunflower seeds do you think this master thief, Black Bear, deserves as a fine for today's bold heist? A hungry black bear tried to steal leftover food but was stopped by a bear-resistant trash can in Nashville, North Carolina. If cows had an IQ ranking, I'd bet this one would be at the very top of the leaderboard. This scene reminds me of a giant comforter, but instead of keeping you warm, it brings nothing but temperatures below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Has the state where you live ever experienced an avalanche like this? How large do you think these hailstones were? Could around 3 inches be the closest answer? Severe thunderstorms brought hail, strong winds, and heavy rain to Garner, North Carolina, and other areas near Raleigh on Monday, May 13th. After an experience like this, I imagine homes out in the open countryside won't be at the top of their wish list anymore. A building in Benton, Arkansas collapsed under the weight of heavy snowfall on Wednesday, January 28th.
It's about to break.
A homeowner in Sonoma County, California, captured the unfortunate moment when part of the ceiling collapsed as they were documenting water damage inside the house. Looking both ways before crossing the street isn't just a habit, it's a gift you give to yourself and everyone else on the road. If anyone deserves credit in this situation, I'd give it to the SUV driver for an impressive display of quick reflexes. You can control the accelerator, but it's the braking system that ultimately determines whether your journey ends safely. Tall buildings are among the most likely targets for lightning strikes. During a thunderstorm, avoid standing near them or on their rooftops. This is definitely an experience that no one would ever want a return ticket to, even once more in a lifetime.
inside.
Yeah.
Ah! The power line. Inside.
Yeah.
Ah! Oh my god, I got that on video. The power line.
A powerful 7.3 magnitude earthquake struck Venezuela on Tuesday, August 21st, sending tremors into the neighboring countries of Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, and Guyana.
やばいぞこれ。大丈夫だよ。大丈夫大丈夫。こちらだから。いやーすごかった。
You'd think only the ocean could produce waves, but today even the ground was rippling beneath people's feet. When an explosion releases an enormous amount of energy in an instant, the light it produces can make the entire sky glow as brightly as daylight. Dozens of vehicles slid one after another like dominoes carefully lined up by winter itself.
Dope.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The road looked perfectly normal, but underneath was a trap expertly disguised by winter. The most dangerous thing about black ice is that you usually don't realize you're on it until everything starts sliding. Oh my goodness, that might be the biggest rat I've ever seen.
You guys know that was there?
For me, a good pair of slip-resistant shoes is the most important piece of winter gear. Watching this moment, I can't help but think luck must have been working overtime. In the blink of an eye, winter made its move, leaving the woman with a moment she'll never forget. Every year, phenomena that were once considered rare seem to occur more often, as though the climate is rewriting its own rules. In your opinion, which natural disaster is the most destructive? Tornadoes, earthquakes, tsunamis, or volcanic eruptions? The difference between a moment of panic and a disaster sometimes comes down to how well the driver stays calm after the explosion. Nature doesn't always roar. Sometimes its greatest power comes from waters that seem perfectly calm.
Holy shit. Yeah. Okay.
An unmoored tourboat drifted down the Kentucky River and struck a bridge in Frankfort, Kentucky on March 3rd as the area was experiencing severe flooding. When the earth sneezes, all people can do is hold on tightly and hope the shaking ends as quickly as possible. Just one slip along tectonic plates deep underground can generate seismic waves that travel hundreds of miles. The danger on the road doesn't always come from other vehicles. Sometimes it falls from the place you least expect. On Monday, February 6th, crews in Rowlett, Texas demolished a water tower that had been damaged by a tornado. Winter is like an invisible director change. Just one small detail, and the entire script changes instantly. Oh my, the distance between safety and a collision this time was measured in just a few inches. If vehicle owners could send the repair bill to someone, I bet they'd send it straight to the first dog. Sometimes the most dangerous thing in the kitchen isn't a knife or a stove, it's a single moment of distraction. Can you count how many fish are in this shot? Don't let its enormous size fool you. The whale shark is the largest fish on Earth, yet it feeds mainly on plankton and poses little to no danger to people. A wolf's greatest strength isn't just its speed or powerful jaws, it's its remarkable intelligence and teamwork. If this reminded you of an animated movie, which one would come to mind first? Let me know in the comments. Every clip is a reminder that when it comes to nature, caution is always the wisest choice. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss more incredible moments from around the world.